So if you work in the real estate industry, there are pretty much tiers or rankings in terms of production value for realtors. There isn't really a measure for TCs or lenders or escrow officers, title attorneys, but realtors have these rankings. And if you make a certain amount of money in gross commission, you end up in the rankings a lot higher. Obviously, the more money you make, the higher you rank. So within your company, if you gross over $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million, now you're starting to reach the top producer ranks. And as a self-employed TC or escrow officer, lender, appraiser, you want to work with these people because they're the ones cranking out these files. They're the ones producing constantly listings, sales, closings. And that's how we all create this ecosystem and make money together. How do you get to clients like that? How do you consistently uphold clients like that? So when I first started my business 8 years ago, my intention was to just make money, find some clients, keep this going as long as I could, and see what happens. But the further I got deep into it and the more I started to work with just top producing clients, I realized the work might be the same, but the level of competence, the level of discipline, the level of focus, the level of emotional intelligence also has to be at a top level. Also has to be at a top producing level. And I realized that's probably why early on I burnt out, why I lost a lot of clients, why I gave away a lot of clients, because I wasn't ready to be in that environment. Was I appreciative and loving the money? Yes, absolutely. But me personally, internally, I was scared, I was overwhelmed. I didn't have the tools, the resources, or the ability to ask for help. But thankfully, I didn't lose all of my clients all at once. The ones I did hold on to allowed me to really gauge, okay, how do I show up in these spaces to be a better TC, to be a better communicator, to be a better business owner? Because that was an element that I was not familiar with. And then how do I combine that all to provide the best value and service possible for my clients? Because before you scale, you have to understand you either have to let go of some old habits and services or old mindsets before you can level up. Because now you're entering a new territory where the room for error is a lot smaller, the expectations are a lot higher, and the pressure is on. And I just couldn't handle that pressure early on. But as I got my reps in, even with 15 years of experience, I still had to relearn this industry and put myself in places, read books that would improve my mindset, help me to be mature in this space, help me to handle adversity in the workspace, help me to handle adversity as a business owner, help me to manage my money, period. And that's why I want to talk about this mindset of a top producer. What I've noticed amongst those that are in that realm, they are go-getters. They take action quickly. They make decisions quickly. But they're also good listeners. They're patient. They're willing to work with a lot of people, but also not spread themselves too thin, which means they bring on assistants, team players, directors of operations, TCs, have their steady group of players on their team that can keep this machine going. That way they're not just relying on one person or two people at a time to get all of this business done. It's a team effort. So on top of making decisions quickly, confidently, which I'm sure also comes from experience, doing it, showing up, it also involves a lot of people. So many of you might want to make $10,000 a month. That's great. But you alone, the amount of work you would have to do to maintain $10,000 a month is going to fry you. It's going to burn you out. You're going to want to run away from this, and you'll probably hate the money and not be able to enjoy it because you're so tired and exhausted mentally, emotionally, physically. So if you want to make $10,000, which I do as well, I want to get back to that monthly goal where I'm making anywhere from 5 to 10 consistently. And in order to do that, I have to remind myself that it's time to elevate. It's time to step it up, take myself seriously so they can take me seriously. And in order to do that, where do I need help? Where do I need to let go of things? Where do I need to double down on? Are these videos holding me back? Are they helping me? Really getting honest and reevaluating the choices I'm making in my business and in my personal life. Another thing I've noticed when working with top producers is they know what they value and they know what they're going after. So clarity is key. They know these are the type of people I want to work with. This is the amount of energy I can give to them, and I'm willing to do it around the clock. Your vision and your mission might be different, but what I'm getting at is they know exactly who their target audience is. So if you're sitting there trying to start a business, or maybe you have your business and you're not sure, let's get clear again. I say this in all of my videos. Clarity is key. Having clear messaging. Same goes for me. So if $10,000 a month is my goal, if I only want to work with top producers, I now have to shift myself into working like a top producer. They have a team. They have their same vendors that they go to. They have their same assistants that they hire. There's always someone in those spaces to facilitate different parts of the job. So yes, I might make $10,000, but maybe $2,000 of that goes to a part-time assistant, or $2,000 of that also goes to social media management. I can't tell you how many hours I spend editing, creating graphics, captions, descriptions, hashtags. It's a lot of work doing this social media thing. But if I could afford to hand it off to someone else and let them do it based on how I operate, that would be a dream come true. But until then, I have to work to get to that point and know exactly what I'll do with that money as soon as it comes in. Because I'll tell you this much, if you don't fix your habits now with your money, your spending, and the limiting mindsets that you have, the moment you get that $10,000, it's gonna feel like it's not enough. As unbelievable as that may sound, especially if you're making anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 right now, you might think $10,000 is life-changing, but you can change your life right now before you get to that $10,000, so you can actually spend it wisely, allocate it wisely, reinvest it wisely. That's another thing I've realized about top producers is they reinvest and they separate their funds. A true business person has their LLC, their S Corp, partnerships, whatever their entity is going to be, their bank accounts. It's all a part of the business. It's no longer for me, Lilly and Hernandez. It's for my LLC, First Class Dreams. And that's when I started to realize, oh, this is a real thing. And I don't take it as serious as I should. This isn't just a game anymore. This isn't just a job I can show up passively to. No. This is a job, a career, my business that I have to show up aggressively to. Even if that means I have to lose sleep for certain times of the year or certain parts of the day. But I also understand that this is going to be a part of the journey. I have to stretch myself. I have to do more than what I allow myself to do. Picking up that dumbbell instead of that donut. Because energy is the next thing I want to talk about. Top producing realtors take care of themselves. That's why my motto is care for yourself, care for your wealth, and not the other way around. Care for your wealth, care for yourself. Because you have to take care of self first and then care for your wealth. You getting enough sleep? Are you taking care of yourself physically? Walking, hiring a trainer, doing fitness classes online, Taebo, Zumba, it doesn't matter. Your body needs movement. Are you taking care of your eyesight, your teeth, your heart? All of these things matter into having the energy required to show up, to audit all of these files, to manage team players, to edit these videos, these vlogs, to know exactly what I'm talking about without having a script. Not just speaking from the heart, but speaking logically, spitting facts, giving you honest, real accounts of what happens behind the scenes. Your goal is to work with top producers or become that top producer that is able to show up and show out and close enough deals to make 5 figures a month. You can do it, but your elements, your surroundings, the conversations you have, the people you hang out with, the habits you have after work, before work, on the weekends, those also have to change along with your goals. And it is challenging when your head is down and you're working oftentimes alone, and you look up and you realize, dang, like my environment has changed completely. I don't hang out with the same people I used to. I don't talk about the same things that I used to. I don't value the same things that I used to. I don't look at money as my self-worth or my personal value. It's just a tool, a resource to get me to the next thing, to help other people, to be generous. And these are things that have actually happened in my life. I want to share that wisdom with you all because I think it's important to realize that what we strive for and who we aspire to be is going to challenge the version of who I am and who you are at this very moment. All of that said, consider how you are going to show up as a top producer in your life so that can reflect in your day-to-day, in your business, in your career, and in your relationships. If this video resonates with you, then visit my website, transactioncare.com, because I want to meet with you one-on-one. Let's talk about this journey to becoming a top producer for you. And so you could work with some top producers as well, because we don't want to limit ourselves moving forward. We want to go after what we deserve and what we're capable of doing. So visit my website, transactioncare.com, and are you subscribed? Be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, introduce yourself, and let's connect. Let's coordinate. So until the next video, this is Transaction Care, and my name is Lilly. Care for yourself, care for your wealth. Your time is worth it. Let's coordinate. Talk soon. And before you leave, make sure you check out one of the videos here to stay in touch and to hit that subscribe button. Just double tap my face.